Daddy, do you know when a girl goes like this and, he does the, oh my God, I got to get in position. He does the bicycle.
Yeah.
He goes, that makes girls' butts juicy.
What?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
Oh, we're both wearing black. I didn't notice that
look at
until
that.
right now.
Yes.
Oh, that's very cute.
Oh, yeah. I got to get back to the pool with the kids today. I've started to notice that the little bit of lack of exercise, we've had some not so great weather to keep us away from the pool. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to be like, nope, got to get back to this because I got to keep this looking lean and mean. You know what I'm saying?
You're on this thing. By the way, one of our coworkers said that you creepily keep talking about your body to her. And she's like, I'm not telling you. And she's like,
all I've said is I've had dramatic weight loss.
She said every single time you're like, oh, look at my abs. Do I look sexy?
Oh, bullshit.
Yes,
I have never said that.
You
no,
do. Yes, you do.
Then they are lying to you. They are lying. I've never said that. I've said I've had dramatic weight loss, but I've never said, do you think my abs look sexy? I might have said I'm getting an ab.
I just want to know, how much are you going to talk about this?
You know what? I don't know until I'm done talking about it or I put the weight back on.
It reminds me of Scott and I share a mutual friend. And this is not the reason that.
And by the way, I do not walk around and say, do you think I look sexy, for Christ's sake? That's terrible. No, you know what? Who are you going to believe? The person that would say it or the person that thinks they heard it?
The person that thinks they heard it.
Yeah, well, they're full of shit.
But hold on. So we share this mutual friend. And the reason I don't know why you don't talk to her anymore. But one of the reasons why I don't talk to her, I don't mind hearing about her weight loss. I'm happy for her, but it's literally all she ever talks about. And I'm like, I don't care about talking about just you. Yeah. This is now just such a one-sided relationship.
I mean, why do we only have to talk about just you when there's a lot of me to talk about?
Right, exactly. I've got so much to say.
Look at this.
Oh, exactly. You do this in every podcast now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm being an asshole, all right? I got to tell you the funniest thing.
What?
So, and this is why we always tell you should be watching on YouTube or Spotify because there's a visual with this. And when you hear what happened yesterday, you're going to be like, wow.
What?
Picking up Gavin and Lydia from their daycare. Mm-hmm. And Gavin gets in the car. And Lydia, I do what I always do. Let her drive on the hood. Jesus Christ. But anyway.
Sit right here on Daddy's lap. We'll just...
you drive, Lydia.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, so they're getting in their car seats, and Gavin, and I have to push back for this, Gavin pulls one of these things. Dad, I better let you finish that sip of... because you're going to...
Sparkling
trust
water?
me, you don't want to spit this out.
Okay.
So, Gavin goes, Daddy, do you know when a girl goes like this, and, he does the... Oh, my God, I got to get in position. He does the bicycle.
Yeah.
He goes... That makes girls' butts juicy.
What? Where did he learn that?
Literally, he said that.
Where did he learn that?
I asked him that. I go, what? Where did you get that? And he goes, oh, it's Sarah's. I'm like, oh my God. And then I had to ask, I'm like, was this another girl that told you this? Or was this a boy? Oh, it was a girl. So this girl picked up something, must have been from her mom, picked up something and said, okay, this is how we make our butts juicy, and did the bicycle. I'm like, well, that stuck with you for today.
Do you know what I thought? I thought you were when you were saying that their butts juicy, I was thinking butt sweat, because not juicy, getting thick.
That's what he meant. I don't think he quite knew it.
I thought over the weekend when I was at that festival, me and my one girlfriend were like, man, we got some bad swamp ass. I thought that's what you mean.
No.
When you ride a bicycle, that it gets swampy and juicy.
No, this was 100% juicy. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. It was the best.
Do you know, before you know it, Gavin is going to be saying so much slang that you're going to go, what the hell are you talking about?
Let me give you one. Okay. Every other word's a yeet. A yeet means everything. Gavin, how's your steak? Yeet. Gavin, what did you do? Oh, I yeeted somebody today. I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? We were wrestling and I threw him and he yeeted him. Everything's a yeet.
That's so
This kid
cute.
is 9 years old and he talks like a gangster. And now he's talking about juicy butts, boozy juts. We're talking about juicy butts and how girls get them. He's yeeting people. He said something else too the other day. And I was like,
By the way, I think when somebody says that I have a juicy butt is the best compliment I could ever receive. I love this compliment.
Start doing more bicycles, girl.
I really want to have a Kim Kardashian butt.
Well, you got to do me a favor.
Or like a Nicki Minaj butt. Like I want it thick and juicy.
You want a shelf that I could set my drink on if I'm behind you. Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, you got to do something for me. So
show my ass every time, like once it gets juicy on the podcast.
That's what we're looking for. Every podcast we'll get an update on your ass instead of my abs.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow. Aunt Allie is taking Gavin and Lydia for ice cream because Daddy has to do a broadcast away from the station a little bit. So just listen to him. Like he'll get comfortable with you very quickly because obviously he's known you his whole life.
Literally his whole life. So
and by the way, try to remember Lydia's in the car if you have the possibility. Try to remember she's alive.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Tomorrow I'm going to teach Gavin some slang.
Oh, great.
Nothing too terrible.
But terrible, but just not too terrible.
Well, I'm not going to teach him. One of the things that we learned on the show this past week was turbulence.
You are not teaching him that.
I will not teach him turbulence. But
by the way, for those that don't know, that's your dick slapping against your leg.
No, I watched another video. It doesn't always have to be your dick. There was the woman who hers was, I think, like her cheeks were kind of slapping together.
Oh, the butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were eating.
She shakes like up and down but out at the same time. And it's like this, turbulence, you know.
Yeah, let's not teach him that, please.
What can I teach him?
I don't know. Just listen to what he says. You'll come up with more of it, too. You'll come in with new slang.
Wait, hold on a second.
Oh, God.
Let's see what the Urban Dictionary word of the day is.
Oh, that's great.
Let's see if we're going to teach this to Gavin.
Oh, yeah.
Urban Dictionary. Here we go.
This will be one of those bedtime conversations. So Aunt Allie today, I can't wait for the word.
Oh, this is great. No, it's not bad. Old chestnut, an idea or subject, usually flawed, which perpetually resurfaces in conversation, despite having been discussed to death. I'm going to use it in
you mean like when somebody calls somebody a narcissist nonstop and they're not, or they're gaslighting somebody? Same thought.
I'm going to use it in the sentence that Urban Dictionary has it. If evolution is real, then how come we never see monkeys turn into humans? Then your response is, oh, God, not that old chestnut. I thought that old chestnut would be more like old balls. Like, if you're... God. Yeah.
Speaking of balls. Balls.
Yeah, balls.
You want to have a good time with Gavin tomorrow? He's found the classic from the early 2000s, and you know what it is.
What?
These nuts!
Oh, my God.
Now finish it!
What am I supposed to say?
Got him!
Oh, God.
Let's try that again. Jeez.
Okay.
These nuts.
Got him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he'll do it endlessly. Oh, it's the funny. It's terrible. It's one of those things you sit there, you're like, we're never doing that in public, young man.
Zach got me with a D's nuts. Twice this week.
On the chin.
Oh, speaking of. So him and I were meeting in the Dollar General parking lot. We were like meeting halfway, because my dog was not feeling very good and he had something wrong with his paw and he was limping. And Zach's like, I have an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, it's called he's 72.
I know. And he's like, I have an anti-inflammatory for dogs. Actually, this is such a sad part of the story, but I'll tell you. So we were at my mom and dad's last weekend and they have steps going into their house, but they're really deep.
Yeah.
And Junior is so old and can't see that he fell up the steps a couple times. I know. It's so sad.
I'm only laughing because I've fallen up the steps at the radio station. And every time it happens.
You guys are about the same age. Yeah.
Oh,
So I think he fell too many times up the steps that it created his paw to like become limp and hurt. Anyway.
Oh.
So I know.
Did you put some Bart Gay on it?
Yeah. Yes. So Zach had he had like an anti-inflammatory for dogs. So we were meeting halfway because we don't. Excuse me.
Did you get any on you?
Because we don't live that close to each other. So after we exchanged the prescription, I was like, well, I have to run into Dollar General anyway and grab a couple things. So I heard some cat calling. So I didn't think anything about it. I was like, it can't be me because I just came from the gym and I look like a goblin. and so
goblin.
He calls me right away. He goes, babe, did you hear what that car said to you when it was driving by? I was like, no. And he's like, you didn't hear it? They were like totally catcalling you and repeated a very
They're into the haggard chic look.
derogatory term towards you, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And it was basically another word.
Allie runs back out.
Wait, hold on.
More.
So, and it was kind of a derogatory term, and I said, it's like similar to hussy, if you will. And I am walking in a Dollar General, and I'm cracking up. I said, "What a compliment!" And he goes, "You idiot, it was me. I was the one that was catcalling."
Oh my God, it was him? That's great. That's great. Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh my God, I gotta give you, okay, a really quick question.
Yeah.
Let's pretend you are about to have another kid.
No.
I know.
I'm good.
But this is happening with one of my girlfriends. So
I mean, I'll find. Listen, if somebody wants to practice, find me. But,
so she is due coming up in October, and her husband got a really awesome job opportunity. But one of the things that he has to do is go to Saudi Arabia for just it's only like a two week stint. It's not a big deal, but
it's a long time though.
Right. So the trip to Saudi Arabia runs in the end of September, and she's due at the beginning of October.
Hold on. What kid? First kid? Second kid? Fourth kid?
First kid. So wait, hold on.
You might be able to chance it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. You've had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Would you take the career chance, go to Saudi Arabia for 2 weeks, or are you going, it's my first kid, I don't want to take the chance to miss it?
Boy.
I know.
Okay, so since 3 kids did not all come from the same mother.
Yes.
Not 3 mothers, mind you. Let's be clear. There are 2 separate ones. But
I could absolutely catcall you with the term that was thrown at me at Dollar General the other day.
Please do. I'm
no,
ready.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway.
I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to be very unpopular until you think about it.
Okay.
Nothing is forever. Even the relationship you think that you're in, that's great.
Oh my God.
A career that could advance you, I hate to say it, maybe
that's why nothing's forever, because your career is your baby.
My career is more forever than
yeah, right. Because your career is your love affair.
But I say this in the sense of, do I want to miss it? No. And I'm using this in the sense of him, not for me, because there are not going to be any more kids.
But you want to know what? That kid's not going to remember.
No, but your wife or ex-wife, soon to be, will always and remind you. But no, I think you need to have a discussion. There's a couple parts to this. You could look at it the way I'm describing it. Nothing is forever. You don't know where your life is going to be in 5-10 years. You think everything's great the way that it could be, but things change. The people change. Things happen. It's life. I wish I could say every relationship's happily ever after. I can really not speak this today.
What?
So you like to think everything's going to be happily ever after. Everybody does. And especially around the time, usually when you're having a kid, you're like, this is the best mouth. This is going to make it. We are the family finally. You don't know where it's going to be.
Complete. Yeah.
You don't know where it's going to be. So that's number 1 to keep in mind. Number 2 is you should really have the discussion with the significant other and go with the assumption maybe that it would be forever, but have the discussion and say, this could be utterly life-changing for us. I mean, if this is a difference of, let's say, $40,000 a year or more on top of what he's making, that's huge.
Well, I'm going to say this as somebody who's never had a child and never even been in the delivery room, but just from conversations with girlfriends, I think that he's stupid to go to Saudi Arabia, even if it could be an advancement, because I think emotionally in the delivery room, they need you. They don't know the doctors. They don't know the nurses. So even if it's not forever, in that moment, they need you. And that's when you need to be there.
Well, the other thing you could do, too, is there a close family member that you could have be on the standby?
Are you freaking trying to get out of this or what?
Yeah, pretty much. And aren't there flights from Saudi Arabia to like Manhattan multiple times a day?
But it might take like, a day and a half, or you can't get there last minute.
No,
Scott.
If it's the first kid, let me tell you, if it's the third or fourth kid, that kid's walking out with a college degree, and a cap. If it's the first kid, you probably got almost 20 hours of labor.
But you might Oh my God.
It's not like the movies where the water blows and your kid comes out right away. That happens after multiple kids. The first one takes a long time.
My friend Kristen had her second baby in 20 minutes.
Second baby.
Second baby.
First
and the
one.
doctor,
What's the first one?
I don't even. I wasn't around.
20 hours. Betcha.
I don't remember what she said because I think we talked about it.
And
but I wasn't around her. I wasn't around for her first baby.
We live in the era of FaceTime. Let me FaceTime in
Oh my
from
God.
Saudi Arabia.
Okay, before we all hate you, let's take a quick break and come back because I can't believe that you said that answer.
I'm
thought
pretty practical.
You know what I thought you were going to say? I thought you were going to be like, it was some of the greatest moments to see my children be born.
I didn't say that wasn't true.
I know.
Although I did actually say when Lydia
But you're
was...
like, send her mom, send her cousin, send her best friend.
I did actually say when Lydia was born because mom had a couple friends holding each leg, and the nurse and the doctor, well, it was just a nurse really. They don't even bring the doctor in till the baby's born in like 8. But they go, well, your baby's about to be born. Do you want to see it? And I'm like, no, I got to go back to that amusement park someday. I want to make sure the roller coaster's not broken.
Oh yeah, lots of guys actually prefer not to see it.
I said, I'll stay up here in the balcony and keep her company.
We had friends that Danielle and TJ just had a baby recently. I don't know if he watched or not. I don't think I ever asked him if he went down,
Yeah, I don't,
if he got front row.
I'm getting front row.
Front row. Anyway, okay, we'll be right back. Scott, tease me with the next thing because we're only going to be gone for 30 seconds, literally.
I've got a couple quick questions for you just for fun. And if we get to it...
Oh, I thought it was for a terrible time.
Yeah, well, for a real shit time. Stick around because we're back in 30.
Of course, you can go down the rabbit hole of looking at all the cute puppies and kitties at chemungspca.org. But did you know there's other stuff that the Chemung SPCA does? Like get tips and tricks at chemungspca.org. Especially if you have a chewer in the family, your fur baby loves to jump up on you or even gets so excited they pull the leash too much. Have you ever heard of the Tooth Fairy Fund? One of the things you can do is donate to the Chemung County SPCA and help other families pay for teeth cleanings and extractions. And if you're down on your luck, there's the Pet Food Pantry. The Chemung County SPCA can provide you, your dog, or cat with a little food to help you through the tough times. So while you're at chemungspca.org looking at the oodles and oodles of cuteness, check out their other services like spay and neuter clinics, affordable vaccination clinics, behavior problems, pet food pantry, tooth fairy service, end-of-life services, or even temporary boarding resources. Now go spoil a doggy or kitty, even if it's not your own.
Hey, we're back with the Not For Air podcast. And I want to... Okay, Allie, I got a couple questions for you. You have some tattoos.
Yeah, I have quite a few.
Okay. Have you seen... Is this a thing you've ever seen where there is a family tattoo? I.e., Johnny has... I don't know what it would be.
3 kids, and they're all tattooed on him. Yes.
Well, but it's a family one, which means Johnny, then brother Steve, then sister Amanda. They've all got the same tattoo, and it started maybe with dad or mom. I mean, why discriminate?
Let's say, for
please
instance,
say tramp stamp.
Let's say, for instance, the tattoo. Dad loved a certain kind of cigar. Okay,
Yeah.
Are you saying that Dad got the cigar tattooed on him, then brothers got a cigar? Or are you talking about the pictures of the family? I'm kind of confused at what you're...
It's not really pictures. It's just a family tattoo. It is a tattoo, whatever it is, that runs through the family. Everybody seems to get it, like probably one family. Like this wouldn't necessarily go to in-laws or go to cousins or anything. It would be, all right, there's 2 boys and a girl, mom and dad. There you go. It's a family of 5, and they all have the same I'm just wondering if you ever seen a family tattoo.
I have. I've seen something very similar. A lot of moms and daughters get tattoos together, or fathers, daughters. And then sometimes it will go a little bit further. But yeah, I've seen that before. Usually like the infinity symbol.
Now, but you describe mom and daughter. Does it happen with mom, daughter, then the 2 brothers and the dad? Have you ever seen it all together?
So rare.
Okay.
Very rare.
Just a question. I was,
okay. Because it's usually they have some sort of connection, or even another thing that happens too. Say somebody goes through a cancer battle, and there might be like some quote about being a warrior, or, Kelly Clarkson, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or whatever it is. Then usually people who are connected to that thing. It tends to be sisters and moms. I
Okay.
think the most is what I've seen.
And
that was
brothers
actually
if it's a dead father.
right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's honestly me working in a tattoo shop years ago. I did. And I think that's usually the takeaway.
Okay. All right. But just a random question. And by the way, if anybody has a family tattoo that goes literally through the whole family, we're talking mom, dad, brother, sister, everybody in the immediate has it. Put a
DM us.
message. Yeah.
DM us, Scott and Allie Show, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
If you're on YouTube, put a comment below.
Yep.
By the way, like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends to do the same too.
Follow.
See, I didn't do it right away in the beginning, like those annoying YouTube videos. Yeah.
I like it when you slip it in a little bit.
It just all right. So I got another one for you.
Okay.
You've been to a lot of house parties where you bring things. Now I want to point this out. Allie is the mistress of the crackers and cheese. You know how to navigate an Aldi like nobody's business and make it look like a 5-star hotel is catering a party.
It's charcuterie boards. I'm not going to say they're super easy all the time, but it's something where I don't have to cook and I have an eye for art.
But I'm telling you, if you want a good cracker, she's the only one that I would trust to pick out all the right crackers at Aldi.
Cracker Queen.
You have it always perfect. You know exactly the right meats to get because I try looking. I'm like, that salami that Allie brought to the party was really good. And then I buy like 4 salamis. None of them are the same. I'm like, where did she get it?
Well, sometimes it's those limited edition. You know how Aldi will have for a limited time those specialty select, I think.
Yep.
Usually that's what I do is I'll grab one of those.
Okay, well, I say that because you bring things to a party, and that's just what you do.
Yes.
So do you ever get annoyed, or not even annoyed? I want to know what you do.
Okay.
Say you bring a wine or a dessert. Let's go wine or dessert because the charcuterie board or the crackers and cheese and all that many times gets hit at a party more than a number of other things.
Yep.
So you've brought wine, a couple bottles, and you've brought a dessert, and it doesn't get touched.
Oh.
It does not get touched.
I know what you're going to ask.
Do you take it?
I knew you were going to ask that. Oh my God, I hate this so much.
Do you do one of these where it's just like, pretend this is the wine bottle and you're just like, well, guys, it's been a lot of fun. We'll see you later.
Oh my God. I battle with this so much because I think sometimes I have a very specific taste, especially when it comes to wine. It's like, if you're not going to drink that wine, let me take it home.
So you're bringing the wine that you want that no one else's wants so that you can actually take it with you.
Because I don't want to go to somebody's house and then they're like, oh, we have Moscato. I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah.
So that's where I have a hard time with this. And this is another thing. So my best friend, he'll bring his very specialty bourbons. I'm like, dude, don't bring the best one because you're going to leave it. And that's what I do. I leave the wine, even though I don't want to leave the wine.
Oh, so you do leave it?
I do. If it hasn't been opened, or if it has been opened, absolutely leave
then
it.
she's taking it.
No, I leave it. I leave it. If it's been opened, because honestly, I know we joke that I drink a lot, but I only drink maybe one day on the weekend. Yeah. So if I opened a bottle of wine and I didn't finish it, rare. But anyway, but if I did, then
you're in a no judgment zone.
Then I'm not gonna drink it the next day. So you can have it and you can drink it and finish it. Now, if it's not opened,
unopened, and that triple chocolate cake. Never out of the box.
I want to take it, but no, I'm leaving it. I think it's rude when people take it, and I don't know why. I have no reason why it's rude, but I think it's rude.
It would have to be a situation where, now, you've been to get-togethers at my house. Mm-hmm. We'll do a Super Bowl party, let's say.
Don't I always leave everything I brought?
I know, and a lot of times, I'll tell everybody, I'll be like, please take some of this. Please, you got to do this. But it's not one of those situations. It's just time for Ellie to go.
Yeah.
And you don't snag it and throw it in your big purse?
No, and I want to. And here's the other thing, and that is why I'm so specific, because a lot of people come to my house. Just a few weeks ago, I have this awesome back deck, and there's trees all around, those cute little porch lights. So I told the people that came
She stole
over,
the porch lights.
I did.
Left the wine.
I told the people that came to my house, they brought something, and I said, take it with you. Are you sure? Yes, I'm not going to drink it. Take it with you. So I tell people what to do because I hate being in this situation.
Could have stopped right there. I tell people what to do.
That's my life.
That's you.
And if I don't tell you, my face will tell you.
Oh, yes, it will.
Is that not true or what?
Oh, my gosh. This girl cannot hide. You just know. I
get that pursed lip and I'm like,
Yep.
My face is so tight, I can't even take it.
Shakes a little bit. No, I'm kidding. All right, so you're leaving it. Interesting. It depends what it is. I'm not going to lie to you. If it's an unopened pack of pepperoni, because might need a snack when you get home. You know, you got more wine at home.
That's the other thing.
Beep.
That's
Right
the
out.
other thing. Because for me too, say for instance, we go to your housewarming party, which I don't think you ever had one, did you?
No, I might though soon.
Okay.
It's like a whole new life for me.
I'm sorry. 6 years later, you're going to have a housewarming party. But anyway.
I mean, you know, it might be new to me soon. Who knows?
So what I think that here's the thing. If I have a couple drinks at your housewarming party, but I'm like, I'm going to go home. I've had a few drinks. I don't want to drink and drive. So I've already started the drinking game though.
Okay.
So I'm going to go home and you're right. I'm going to drink more drinks and I want triple moose pie.
See?
So can you please just do me this favor?
Tell you to take it?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless you really want it, you can go, you know what? I'm going to want it tonight after my, Jack and Cokes or whatever you drink.
Oh, God, not that.
What? It's just,
I mean, if I'm
making
going to
up a
drink, it'll be JMO and ginger, but
this is hypothetical, Scott.
Sorry.
So anyway, yes, please tell me to take my food home.
Okay. So that's the proper way to handle it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just thought of this. Maybe there should be a little sign in everyone's house when they arrive for a party. Do you want to be told to take your food home or not?
Or just hang the sign. Please take what you brought if it's not touched.
Yes.
Because,
For a
that brings a
housewarming party?
question. That brings a question. All right.
What?
So the wine didn't get open. Maybe one of the bottles did, but there's another whole bottle sitting right there. Okay.
Yeah, because I brought two. I brought a red and a white. Yes.
Which would be really shocking when you think about it. But anyway, so let's go to the chocolate cake. Triple chocolate cake. It's the good one from Wegmans. You know, that's super dense. It's like a big block of fudge. God, I love that thing. So
I want that right now that you're talking about it.
So, right. So let's say that 2/3 of it, let's say a half has been eaten. Mm-hmm. Does it change it then? Then do you leave it or do you take it then?
I always leave it no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm saying it
doesn't change it.
No, whether there's a half a bottle of wine, a half a pie, I'm always leaving it.
Now, because they call me scot-free and I can get you out of anything pretty much. We'll see. One of the things you could do if you really want to take it with you, and it's that chocolate cake. Let's say you're like, oh my God, I've had a bottle of wine and my period's about to start and I need a lot of chocolate, copious amounts of chocolate, I'm going to sit down with a fork and half this cake and just go. You know what you could do?
What?
And this is the great way to get what you want out of the house.
What?
Give me the name of a friend. Sarah.
Sarah,
would you mind if I took a piece of this cake? Mm-hmm. You know what's going to happen?
just take the whole thing.
You're walking out with the whole cake.
Yes.
Or what's left of it. I'm
you
telling you.
have to, even though it feels weird. Even we have really big family functions. And just recently we had a family reunion and there was a ton of barbecue left. Scott, I wanted some of this barbecue so bad, but I didn't bring it. But I still wanted to ask, can I take a plate home?
Yeah.
I won't even do that.
God, it's family. You can't do it with family?
No, I feel weird about it.
Oh, come on. It's family. If I was there, I would have asked your family if I could have taken it for you.
I know. I don't know why. I'm always just like, they put the whole thing on. They should keep all the food.
No, they can. You can always ask for, to do a plate, especially if there was a ton left
And
over.
I know that they would say yes.
Of course.
I just feel weird about it. And I don't know where that came from.
I have one other question since you were asking about family. Mm-hmm. So over the years, we've talked about the fact that you love your brother, and we've heard stories about how your brother tortured the hell out of you, or vice versa, and probably both when you were much younger.
Yep.
We've also questioned some of the decisions and some of the things that he does from time to time, not in a mean way, just sort of like, well, clearly you're just a touch quirky and we love you for it. Is that a safe way to describe it? Okay. If you, and I don't know if you've ever thought about this, maybe you have, if you could change the order of your family, in other words, you become the older sibling, he becomes the younger sibling, would you do it?
No. So I think that younger siblings get babied a little bit more based on
can you see the effect of it?
Based on the pecking order. I think that my brother gets babied by my mom, and I think it's
That's
weird.
because he's a boy. I'm telling you.
And I get babied by my dad. And I think that part of the reason that I like being the younger is because my mom would not dote on me if I wasn't younger. Does that make sense? So now I get some love from her.
Yeah.
because I'm younger. She's already like used up 100% of all Gail can really love. It's like 99.9 goes to Marky. And then there's...
telling you, it's because he's a boy.
I know. But that's where it's like, and don't get me wrong, my mom and I are actually really close and I love her and everything like that. But I think I know it's a different connection. And that's fine. But I'm glad that I'm younger because I get the best of both worlds. I get a little love from my mom. I get the love already from my dad because we're close. And I'm the baby. But I'll tell you what, oh my God, I was going to talk about...
she's getting the house.
No, I was going to talk about this on the show and I didn't, but we can reserve this for here. So it's about how dads treat their daughters. Yeah. And how sometimes it is... like they overstep. And I'm going to explain this to you because this
I am interested because I have, Lydia.
2 daughters.
Well, yes, Lydia at 4, though. There is an extraordinarily strong connection.
Right. So, but at the same time, that can be detrimental. And I think that this happens to me, especially happened over the weekend. My dad asked me a question that I really thought it threw me and I thought it was really inappropriate. So I am in the process of buying a house and I said, we're interested in this house. It's basically like, it's getting to a point where like, this is pretty much going to be our house. Right. So he says to me, do you really like this house? Are you sure?
Yeah.
And I didn't like that though, because he almost babies me too much. And I'm like, yeah, I like this house. Yes, I want this house. Yes, I want to be in this situation. He's almost too protective. And I'm 40 years old.
Here's the thing. I don't think he was thinking of it that way. I think even though this will be the 3rd house that you've been involved in a purchase of.
Yeah.
All right. I think I don't know that he's being overprotective. I think he's doing it in the way of saying, have you thought it 100% through? Because I will tell you this. Now, I mean, when Allie makes an announcement as far as if something has come together with a home that they're going to purchase or whatever, that's hers to make. But here's the battle that I know you've gone through. On the show, we've been very vocal about the fact that real estate here is not like in certain parts of the country where it's either not having huge jumps in value or there's actually a degree of product to purchase. Although you hear there's not a ton of product. Here, especially, getting the house you want in good condition that has certain things you want and is available is very difficult. Well, so I think he was trying to be like, are you settling or are you really going for what you want? Because there's a difference. If you're settling, you will go into regret at some point and go, I wish that it would have done that, we would have done this or kept looking. I think that's what it is. I really do.
Okay. And back to, you had just talked about the housing market. A mortgage broker, a friend of ours, had just told me the other day, she said, do you realize that our market is usually about 4 months behind other markets when it comes to the progression of the ups and the downs? Now, as far as the settling part, I can get that a little bit more, and I'm glad you said it because I was almost offended in 2 ways. I want to pull up this. I want to pull up this video too. I can't show you, but I can at least tell you who the TikToker is. But I thought, well, I've done this, like you said, 3 times. Like, do you not trust what I'm saying?
No, because think about it. The first house, if I remember correctly, it was a pretty nice house. I don't know why the first house didn't do it. Although he's seen you a lot in the house that you currently have, and he sees it fits you well. Just about everything's in pristine condition, except for that one thing, which we won't talk about. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But it's but you did really well picking that house for you.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's going, okay, big step again, because it is. And the question comes up, have you really gone through? You're not settling. That's what it is. It's not that. Are you sure? It's just you're not settling. I think that's what he was getting to. And that's a great question for a father to ask. Well,
and then, so going back to that TikToker, I just want to bring this full circle. The TikToker is named Zulf. ZULLFFF. Okay.
Zulf. Isn't he the ruler of some planet in one of the Avengers movies? Ruler Zulf.
But one of the things that they had talked about was how fathers get so shocked by that we won't tolerate the same disrespect that they put their wives through. And this happens too. Oh my God, this happens so much in our...
What disrespect? If Mark asked the Holy Gail, are you sure about that decision? She'd smack him upside the head.
Well, yeah, but I think that is actually... not that I think anybody needs to change someone, but I do think there were things that my grandmother did to enable my dad, and my mom did have to formulate a more independent man. Like, for instance, growing up, my dad never did the laundry. Didn't cook very often, like never.
That was the time, though.
I know. But hold on a second. So then, and now my brother does the laundry. He cooks. He does all those things. And I don't want to place gender roles on them. But even when it comes to things between Zach and I tell my dad, I put Zach in his place when he needs to be put in his place. I'm not going to cower to him.
Right.
And I'm not going to, and this is where I definitely learned that from my mom, because it's like, no, to be honest with you, I wouldn't put up with Zach if he didn't cook and he didn't do laundry and he didn't do stuff like that.
I think that's good.
Right, because we're 50-50. But so this TikToker said, it's so funny how dads get so shocked when you won't tolerate the same disrespect they put their wives through, and then goes on to say, like, I'm not your wife, sir, and I'm definitely not one of your little friends. I want to make this clear that I am basically a strong, independent woman.
Yeah.
You're right. The era of dads has changed. And that's where, when my dad said that, I thought, are you disrespecting me? Because I respect my dad, but I'm at the age I want him to respect my choices too.
Well, and it goes along with the fact we've heard stories of, those dads that still don't change diapers and stuff like that. It's 2023. Mm-hmm. It's same thought process. Just do it. You know,
it's so funny though, because I'm so close to my dad, and we actually have a really wholesome relationship.
But the good news is you'll be changing his diaper soon. So.
Yeah, that when he asked me that question, I didn't come back at him. I said, "Yeah, Dad, I'm really happy with it. I love it," and I didn't put him in his place, but I internally wanted to.
But now knowing that, I think he was just asking, is it really everything or close to everything? I don't think any house is everything you want, but I mean, unless you built it yourself and it's brand new and everything the way you wanted it.
Right.
But
right.
do you think, now knowing that, does it make you feel a little bit different going,
yeah,
okay, he was just making sure that we're not settling?
You're right, because he lives in a bigger city. So his real estate market is 4 months ahead of us.
Yeah.
And they're in a different spot, and it's it's not very expensive to live in Cleveland, but it's a lot more expensive here. Like, one of my girlfriends, she bought a house for like $250. To be honest with you, I don't think it's $250K, and she lives in a bigger city.
Yeah.
I have another, my best friend works with someone who put an offer in on a house that $285, and they still didn't accept it. And he's like, it ain't worth no $285.
Yeah, this is happening all over the place.
Yeah. So, okay, I think you absolutely cleared that up for me.
Oh, yeah, because I don't think your dad's the least disrespectful person, nor is he too closed-minded and old school to not have evolved to appreciate, the way that things should be.
No, not at all. And I don't want to get into this on this podcast whatsoever, but my family is very divided on some big topics. And I'm talking like transgender people.
Honey, that's every family.
Right. Or race issue, like
why do you think we dread
racism?
Thanksgiving dinner in many families?
I know.
This is not exclusive.
And I said to my brother, because sometimes my dad needs a little convincing, not a lot of convincing, but he needs to talk it through with us as a younger generation, and he listens. And I said to my brother, I said, and I love all of my uncles, I said, but between all of my uncles, our father is the most
who art in heaven
evolutionary when it comes to things like race.
Yep.
And those things like that.
Listen, I can relate to this. Between my two brothers, they live 4 streets apart from each other. I never knew the Mason-Dixon line went as far north as Buffalo and the town of Tonawanda between 2 streets. It's like you got one over here, you got one over here. But either way, listen, we got to go. I got to go get the kids. So I got to roll out of here.
Oh, my gosh, time flies.
But I'm proud of this podcast because, except for the first 5 minutes where you kept calling me out about my abs, which is absolute bullshit to this day.
How many podcasts have we done now where he's talked about his abs?
When you acknowledge it, I'll stop.
Scott, you got great abs. If you show me your stomach, I swear to God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dump them out.
That's about right. That's about right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.